Hello again, and welcome to the latest bulletin from Haverhill UK News, brought to you by Haverhill TV. In the news for today, Tuesday, May the 7th, a special consultation about bringing back the railway has been announced next month for businesses and local authorities, hosted by the Town Council and the local rail renewal group. After Thursday's Suffolk County Council elections, the Conservatives' majority has been cut from 35 seats to just 3. And a vintage mobile cinema will visit Haverhill Market Square next month as part of a regional tour called Archive Alive. Businesses and local authority representatives are being invited to a special consultation meeting about the revival of Haverhill's rail link to Cambridge. The meeting, on June the 11th at the Arts Centre, is being hosted by Haverhill Town Council and the Cambridge to Colchester Rail Project. The project's chairman, Malcolm Hill, said the Town Council, St Edmundsbury Council, Suffolk County Council, the business community in Haverhill, the town's MP, Matthew Hancock, and the general public had all indicated their concern about transport links from the town. The meeting aims to get backing for having a full feasibility study carried out about railway renewal at a cost estimated between £20,000 and £46,000. But the guided bus idea and the so-called virtual railway are also on the agenda. At a recent meeting with town business people, Mr Hancock indicated there had been some preliminary discussions about a rail link, but that it was a very long-term aim. However, Haverhill elected 2 UKIP candidates out of its 3 county councillors last week, and one of UKIP's policies is to look at renewing former railways. The county council elections saw the Conservatives' majority at County Hall slashed from 35 to just 3. The full makeup of the council is now Conservative 39, that's down 16, Labour and Labour Cooperative 15, that's up 11, UKIP 9, that's up 8, Lib Dem 7, that's down 4, Independents 3, that's up 1, and Greens 2, that's no change, so a total of 75 councillors. The turnout across the county was just over 30%. In Haverhill Cangle it was 23.5%, and in Haverhill East and Keddington it was 28.4%, so the town was just below the county average. Haverhill's new UKIP councillors, Julian Flood and Tony Brown, will sign their declarations of office this week, and on May the 23rd the full council will meet for the first time and elect a leader. Until then, the current leader, Councillor Mark B, remains in the job. The future of Haverhill for the next 20 years is being planned in a series of documents which make up Vision 2031, and St Edmundsbury Borough Council planners have come up with their final version. There are some changes after public consultation on their draft version last year, and assuming it is approved by the council later this month, it goes out for its final public consultation from June to August. This time, your comments would go direct to the government's planning inspector, who will decide whether to accept the council's version for adoption or whether to make changes based on the comments from the public. And council leader, Councillor John Griffiths, said it would be a chance for people to tell the inspector directly whether they thought the plan was sound or not, and why. And now for some more of your comments to us in our regular feature Sound Off. There's been a lot of chat this week about the election results, about the Haverhill show, and about a range of Haverhill issues. But it was good to see one of our newly elected UKIP councillors using the message board to tell us what he wants to do. Tony Brown, or TB as he calls himself, writes, "I will work with whoever from any party or organisation without prejudice for the benefit of the town. Also, I am a UKIP councillor, but not instructed by them in any way on local issues. I can do what I think is best for the town. I'm on a bit of a learning curve at the moment, so will not try to jump in with both feet at this stage, but will hopefully, over the coming weeks, pick up the pace. In the meantime, I will attend any meetings or event if invited, and will make contact with the Town Council and Keddington Parish Council and regularly attend their meetings. There are some issues that I'm aware of, i.e. the big one of town pedestrianisation and which option is the best, also the ongoing problems of the traffic situation in Hamlet Road. It would be good to work with people to sort that out. What I would like to see would be free parking, It's not so much the cost, it is the hassle of having to find coins and then worry that you do not accidentally exceed your time, which makes people just go and park in Tesco's and do their shopping there. And some sort of rate relief for first-time shop owners in the town to encourage the individual type trader to return. And maybe some deal could be done with landlords where they also can do their bit instead of leaving a shop empty. There's money for this sort of thing, as the council have offered a huge incentive for the first business that moves to the research park. Anyway, these are all things that need to be talked about. But Fred wasn't happy with the result and says, well, how unfair for those local councillors that have put in an enormous amount of work and of time and effort only to get tossed to one side by someone jumping on the national bandwagon. As, like many, witnessed how the dump was clogged up at the weekend and writes, Household Waste Recycling Centre, 16 cars queuing when we first drove past and 12 on the way back. It's ridiculous along that road. Good to see it well used, especially when they were considering closures, but the town has outgrown it. A dump that is easier and quicker to get into and just doesn't clog up roads would be ideal. A better dump would encourage more people to use it than fly tip. Of the Haverhill show, Hal Revy says, letting business run this charity event for self-interest is disgraceful. The Haverhill show must be run by the local charities. We even now have a town florist setting up and running a flower show on the day. I would suggest they get the church involved and let the church run the flower show from inside St Mary's. It's not rocket science. Haverhill does not need business to run the town show. But I Like Trains replies, I've no concerns about it being chaired by a local business owner. I remember the Haverhill in Bloom being run by an owner of an employment agency, and he was a fantastic chairman, very good at organising people and events, having gained all his experience through running a business. Well, we welcome all your comments, so keep them coming by going to www.haverhilluk.co.uk and clicking onto the local issues message board. And finally, the congregation at Haverhill Methodist Church recently celebrated the opening of their newly extended and refurbished church hall. The building, which forms part of the church premises on Camps Road, is home to a number of community organisations every week. Among others, a preschool playgroup meets in the hall every weekday morning, as well as a mums and toddlers group on Monday and Thursday afternoons. On Sunday, the church congregation gathered in the hall to mark the official reopening of the building. Jonathan Tengby did the honours by cutting the red ribbon. Following the ceremony, everyone celebrated enjoying a meal in the hall. And that's all for today, but join us again on Friday. Meanwhile, here's the week's weather.